أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم قل من كان عدوا لجبريل فإنه نزله على قلبك بإذن الله مصدقا لما بين يديه وهدى وبشرى للمؤمنين. There are answers to 9 objections in 8. Second part started from 97 to 176. About the authenticity of the Prophet ﷺ, there are 4 chapters in this section. The first chapter is from 97 to 123. First, there are answers to 5 questions. Then there are 5 warnings. Then there are answers to 2 questions. Then there are 5 things related to the prophethood. This verse contains the answer to the first question. The question was that Jibreel alayhi salam bring revelation to you and he is our enemy. This is the reason for enmity with him. The Jibreel alayhi salam transmitted the revelation from us to Banu Ismail. So that's why we don't fully believe the book, messenger and revelation brought by him. So the answer was this, that the revelation that Jibreel alayhi salam bring are by the command of Allah Ta'ala. And in this revelation, that is the Holy Quran, the highest attributes are truthfulness, Musaddiq, Huda, Bushra. The meaning of Bushra, the believers are so happy by hearing when reciting it that their faces are filled with happiness. قُلْ مَنْ كَانَ عَدُوًّا لِجِبْرِيلَ فَإِنَّهُ نَزَّلَهُ عَلَى قَلْبِكَ بِإِذْنِ اللَّهِ مُصَدِّقًا لِمَا بَيْنَ يَدَيْهِ وَهُدًى وَبُشْرَى لِلْمُؤْمِنِينَ. Say, O Prophet, whoever is an enemy of Jibreel should know that he revealed this Quran to your hearts by Allah's will, confirming what came before it, a guide and good news for the believers. 98 number verse. The rebuke is on the enmity of Jibreel alayhi salam, and this is the second answer. It means that Allah is hostile to Jibreel enemies, and this is the act of disbelief. And who is the enemy of the Jibreel? He is the enemy of the Prophet and the angels. Man kana aduwwan lillahi wa malaikatihi wa rusulihi wa Jibrila wa Mikala fa inna Allaha aduwwun lil kafirin. Whoever is enemy of Allah, his angel, his messenger, Jibreel and Mikael, then let them know that Allah is certainly the enemy of the disbelievers. Jibreel or Mikael, both of them are included in Malaika. They are mentioned because the debate was going on about him with Jews. Verse number 99. In this verse, there are reprimands for denying the words of the Holy Quran, and because of this risk of belief, and this is also the answer that the verses were revealed through the testimony of Jibreel alayhi salam, and sin risk is due to disbelief. وَلَقَدْ أَنزَلْنَا إِلَيْكَ آيَاتٍ بَيِّنَاتٍ وَمَا يَكْفُرُ بِهَا إِلَّا الْفَاسِقُونَ. Indeed, we have sent down to you, O Prophet, clear revelations, but none will deny them except with rebellious. Verse number 100 is a rebuke to the evil position of these people. And non-belief, these are also related to the answer that these people break every promise and they are dishonest. So why are these people objecting to Jibreel alayhi salam? وَكُلَّمَا هَدُوا أَحَدًا نَبَذَهُ فَرِيقٌ مِّنْهُمْ بَلْ أَكْثَرُهُمْ لَا يُؤْمِنُونَ. Why is that every time they make a covenant, a group of them cast it aside? In fact, most of them do not believe. بَلْ أَكْثَرُهُمْ لَا يُؤْمِنُونَ. Mostly this is the polity. It is indicated that the polities are not few but many. They are upon more than that side. The polity has made a commitment and it has a little, but the majority of them are those who do not obey the commitment at all. And here are those covenants which have been repeatedly mentioned earlier in this surah with the word Misaq, verse number 101. In this verse, there is a rebuke that these people stopped following this book and they denied the messenger whom they knew, and this because of the enmity of Jibreel alayhi salam. وَلَمَّا جَاءَهُمْ رَسُولٌ مِّنْ عِندِ اللَّهِ مُصَدِّقٌ لِمَا مَعَهُمْ نَبَذَ فَرِيقٌ مِّنَ الَّذِينَ أُوتُوا الْكِتَابَ كِتَابَ اللَّهِ وَرَاءَ ظُهُورِهِمْ كَأَنَّهُمْ لَا يَعْلَمُونَ. Now when a messenger from Allah has come to them, confirming their own scriptures, some of the people of the book cast the book of Allah behind their backs as if they did not know. If the book is wrapped in silk and does not act on them, then it is said to be thrown away. Jews did the same thing with their book. There is an argument in this verse that a scholar who does not act on his knowledge is like an uneducated, ignorant person. verse number 102, contain the answer to the second and third questions. The first question was about Sulaiman alayhi salam. The question was that you are including Sulaiman alayhi salam among the prophets. That is, you consider him as a prophet, although he was a magician. He was not a prophet, so it shows that you are not a prophet. So it was answered that Sulaiman alayhi salam was not a magician. Satan does magic. The detail are that time Sulaiman alayhi salam collected magic books from all the people, imprisoned the demon, and buried all the books under the throne in his room. Therefore, trend of magic will end. Then when Sulaiman alayhi salam died, so the devil informed the people that Sulaiman alayhi salam continued to rule by the power of the magic, and those books were taken out, and people began to develop magic again and began to learn and practice it. During the time of the Sulaiman alayhi salam, the interaction between demons and human was very high. Reconciliation with each other, the relationship between the two was very common at that time. So the giants started teaching magic to the humans. People started writing, and that era was magical. Magic became common. Everyone became interested in it. When Sulaiman alayhi salam found out about it, he collected all the books that people had, buried them under the throne in his room. After Sulaiman alayhi salam's death, the devil declared that Sulaiman had ruled over you by magic, and all his books were buried here. So people dug it out, and from that time, all the secret of human weakness, human psychology, and ways to gain the world negatively and conquer people fell into the hand of these people, and then kept it in their hands at any cost till now. And this is why since then they kept on denying the prophets, and even killed those who stood in their way or asked them to stop. They learned way to gain the world. Wherever the interests were hate, then they would also turn away from Allah's commandments. Human control mind, control God, their hands. Kabbalah holds sorcery and many other secrets. وَاتَّبَعُوا مَا تَتْلُو الشَّيَاطِينُ عَلَى مُلْكِ سُلَيْمَانَ, and they followed what the devil taught during the region of Sulaiman alayhi salam. وَمَا كَفَرَ سُلَيْمَانُ وَلَكِنَّ الشَّيَاطِينَ كَفَرُوا يُعَلِّمُونَ النَّاسَ السِّحْرَ. And Sulaiman alayhi salam did not disbelieve, but the devil disbelieved by teaching magic to people. وَمَا أُنزِلَ عَلَى الْمَلَكَيْنِ بِبَابِلَ هَارُوتَ وَمَارُوتَ, and also of which was sent down to two angels Harut and Marut in the city of Babylon. وَمَا يُعَلِّمَانِ مِنْ أَحَدٍ حَتَّى يَقُولَ إِنَّمَا نَحْنُ فِتْنَةٌ فَلَا تَكْفُرُ, and they did not teach anyone until they said as a domination, we are only for a trial. So the disbeliever is not because of witchcraft. فَيَتَعَلَّمُونَ مِنْهُمَا مَا يُفَرِّقُونَ بِهِ بَيْنَ الْمَرْءِ وَزَوْجِهِ, so they used to learn from them that which separate husband and wife. وَمَا هُمْ بِضَارِّينَ بِهِ مِنْ أَحَدٍ إِلَّا بِإِذْنِ اللَّهِ, although they could not harm anyone except by Allah's command. وَيَتَعَلَّمُونَ مَا يَضُرُّهُمْ وَلَا يَنْفَعُهُمْ, and they used to learn that which harmed them and not profited them. وَلَقَدْ عَلِمُوا لِمَنِ اشْتَرَاهُ مَا لَهُ فِي الْآخِرَةِ مِنْ خَلَاقٍ, although they already knew that whoever buys into magic would have no share in the hereafter. وَلَبِئْسَ مَا شَرَوْا بِهِ أَنفُسَهُمْ لَوْ كَانُوا يَعْلَمُونَ, miserable indeed was the price for which they sold their soul, if only they knew. مَا تَتْلُو الشَّيَاطِينُ, both Satan and jinn are meant. Ala mulki Sulaiman, during the region of Sulaiman alayhi salam, are compared to his kingdom. وَيَتَعَلَّمُونَ النَّاسِ, it is argued that education is magic. There disbeliefs for publication and action. وَمَا أَنزَلَ عَلَى الْمَلَكَيْنِ, this is the answer to the third question. The question was that you called magic blasphemy, even though it is heavenly knowledge and it was taught by Allah to angels, and you call the knowledge disbeliefs. So it became clear from him that you are not a prophet. So the answer is here that this knowledge was given to the angels so that people could be tested. It was not because it was permissible, and if such and such words are used, it is magic. Save yourself from it, so people will learn it and practice it. There are the best saying, there are others saying, you can see them in other tafsir and interpretations, but the story that the the commentator have written, in which evil dead are mentioned from Venus, yani Zohra, and then becoming the star of Venus, yani Zohra, and to punish these angels in the will of Babylon. All these are Israeliyat, all these are fabricated lies. That is a first warning. They say that we have come as a test for you, that is, it is not permissible to teach it and to follow it is disbelief. One meaning of this is that means of witchcraft they use to create a rift between the husband and wife and create a difference between them. The second meaning is this: if they learn this magic and become infidel and polytheists, then their marriage would be broken like this. These two sentences are argument that Allah Ta'ala effect this charm. The effect is by command of Allah. Allah Ta'ala through detention or through language. Do not mess with someone's mind and intellect, but witchcraft is forbidden, invalid, and disbelief. It has reference to other sciences, those who harm religion, philosophy, astrology, and priesthood, etc. 103 number ayat. This is their invitation to faith and repentance from all sins with two conditions. Firstly, true faith, and the second is taqwa, that is, protect from disbelief, polytheism, and infatuation. Only then will repentance will be accepted. وَلَوْ أَنَّهُمْ آمَنُوا وَاتَّقَوْا لَمَثُوبَةٌ مِّنْ عِندِ اللَّهِ خَيْرٌ لَوْ كَانُوا يَعْلَمُونَ. If only they were faithful and mindful of Allah, there would have been a better reward from Allah if only they knew. Verse number 104. This is the answer to the fourth question. The question was that at first the companions of the Prophet ﷺ used to call him a Ra'ina, and thus he imitated the Jews. Purpose in this was to consider us, take care of us. This was the meaning of this word, and the meaning is right. Later, the Jews started saying this word which had a wrong meaning. It was not correct. Then Allah the Almighty forbade this word which the Jews objected to, that you people are stubborn and obstinate with us, so it is known that you are not a prophet. So the answer came, the result of which is this: that is why Allah has forbidden this world, that there is illusion of shirk and disbelief in it. It is not forbidden because of obstinacy. This is Raina interpretation. The correct meaning is this: it is from Raya, subsidiary, a cause of subordination, or it should be taken into account to gain attention in the conversation, and this is what the companions would have meant. And its other meaning are disbelief, the polytheism. Other meaning of Rain are the subject, only the sustainer of a supernatural reason, which is an attribute of Allah Ta'ala can do this, as it is Surah Rum 107. The second meaning is of low intelligence, Raunat, that they used to be a Raina, which is the shepherd. The reason as disbeliefs to attribute this to Prophet ﷺ, but the rudeness as disbelief toward the Prophet. The fourth meaning is in the term Rai in the Misr, in Egypt, they used to call the son of God. He was a great god in Fir'aun's time and consider him as a god. When the Jews pointed to it to publish a shirk word among the Muslims, it became known. The Raina is a common word in the world. Illusion in it has a meaning of shirk. This is the proof of that, which is a past word of polytheism, such as Mashallah and Shaita, such as Abdul Nabi, Abdul Rasul, are right to be prayed for, are blessedly, so. And to say the absent person of the Huzur and Hazrat, all these words are the delusional word. It is necessary to avoid it. Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu la taqulu ra'ina wa qulu unzurna wasma'u wa lil kafirina azabun alim. O believers, do not say ra'ina, you heard us, but say unzurna, attend to us, and listen attentively, and the disbelievers will suffer a painful punishment. Verse number 105. And yet there is a warning about the stubbornness of the Jews, and yet two reasons are mentioned for the first error. The first reason is harshness and the jealousy of the Jews toward the people, so avoid imitating them. And the second reason is that Allah Almighty has a special mercy and grace upon you, so do not close it doors to you because of imitation of Jews. ما يود الذين كفروا من أهل الكتاب ولا المشركين ينزل عليكم من خير من ربكم والله يختص برحمته من يشاء والله ذو الفضل العظيم. The disbelievers from the people of the book and the polytheists would not want to receive any blessing from your Lord, but Allah select whoever He will for His mercy, and Allah is the Lord of infinite bounty. Min khair, every good revelation, truth, any holy word like the word Unzurna. Verse number 106. The answer to the fifth question is that sometime you command and sometime you do against it. So from this hesitance, it is known that you are worried about your work. Therefore, you cannot be a prophet. This question arose from the change of the world right now. So I got the answer that the change and the rules is a sign of Allah's power. This is the kingdom of Allah. So changing the rules is the work of Allah Ta'ala. Nasakh. According to the advanced scholar, if they say absolute change, then more than 500 verses are abrogated with this meaning. And according to the later scholars, it is to change the order or to end the recitation. This command has completely ended and it is completely forbidden to follow it. Then 20 verses were abrogated. According to Shawliullah Rahmatullah, only 5 verses are abrogated. And according to our mashayikh, our ulama, these 5 verses also have such meanings that they are also not cancelled. Ma nansakh min ayatin aw nunsiha na'tin bi khairin minha aw misliha alam ta'lam anna Allah ala kulli shay'in qadir. If we ever abrogate one verse or cause it to be forgotten, we replace it with a better or similar one. Do you not know is most capable of everything. Ma nansakh min ayatin, verse meaning recitation. The recitation of the ayah or commandment is of the ayah. It is both. The differences are in the method used in nasakh and nasya. The first method is abrogation, editing the order or reciting. Answer remained in your place. Another method just change the recitation, change of order. The third difference, it is opposite to before. The fourth is change from one verse to another and to abandon them without bringing an alternative verse. Khair bi khairin minha. Khair is that in which there is reward profit. There should be expediency and convenience in which there is more. Aw misliha, which is equal to the first in reward or profit, be in accordance with expediency. Verse number 106, it is argued that manuscript, it is the power of Allah, because the kingdom is in His power, the law in His power. So it will be in accordance with the pleasure of Allah Ta'ala. In this, there is a rejection of shirk per disposal. Alam ta'lam anna Allah lahu mulku as-samawati wal ard wa ma lakum min dunillahi min waliyyin wa la nasir. Do you know that the kingdom of the heaven and the earth belongs only to Allah, and you have no guardian or helper besides Allah? Wali here, the meaning is the owner of property-in-laws, the custodian and the system operator. Verse number 108. This is an address to the Jews that you people arise. This is the first reprimands part objecting to the Prophet, objection and the doubts about this Prophet ﷺ, just like you did about your elders. Do this to Musa salam in order to make them afraid and worried. Am turiduna an tasalu rasulakum kama suila Musa min qablu wa man yatabaddal al-kufra bil iman faqad dhalla sawa as-sabil. Or do you believers intend to ask of your messenger as Musa was asked before? Whoever tried belief or disbelief has truly strayed from the right way. Change mean disbelief by objecting and not to believe. There is possibility, and this was addressed to polytheist or addressed to the companion, but the first saying is better or not. This address is to the Jews. Verse number 109. This is the second rebuke about the evil nature of apostatizing people. 5 manners have been mentioned for the believer in this situation. There are two in this verse and the rest is in the next verse. وَدَّ كَثِيرٌ مِّنْ أَهْلِ الْكِتَابِ لَوْ يَرُدُّونَكُم مِّن بَعْدِ إِيمَانِكُمْ كُفَّارًا حَسَدًا مِّنْ عِندِ أَنفُسِهِم مِّن بَعْدِ مَا تَبَيَّنَ لَهُمُ الْحَقُّ فَاعْفُوا وَاصْفَحُوا حَتَّى يَأْتِيَ اللَّهُ بِأَمْرِهِ إِنَّ اللَّهَ عَلَىٰ كُلِّ شَيْءٍ قَدِيرٌ. Many among the people of the book wish they could turn you believers back to disbelief because of their envy after the truth has been made clear to them. Pardon and bear with them until Allah deliver His decision. Surely Allah is most capable of everything. Hasadan, it is indicated that this work of His was not based on piety and goodness but because of jealousy. Meaning the Anfushim, this envy is the cause of their evil self and bad desires of women, of arguments from the bad world and actions that are issued about you, and the sapa means to turn away from their friendship and love. Hattayat Allah bi amrihi meant by command. Amr is about fighting with the Jews, but every time they were ordered to fight, therefore this verse cannot be said to abrogate it because the abrogation does not mention the ultimate commandment, and here it is mentioned through it. There are three adab in this verse. Number 110. وَأَقِيمُوا الصَّلَاةَ وَآتُوا الزَّكَاةَ وَمَا تُقَدِّمُوا لِأَنفُسِكُم مِّنْ خَيْرٍ تَجِدُوهُ عِندَ اللَّهِ إِنَّ اللَّهَ بِمَا تَعْمَلُونَ بَصِيرٌ. Establish prayer and pay alms, a tax. Whatever good you send forth for yourselves, you will certainly find it reward with Allah. Surely Allah is all seeing of what you do. لِأَنفُسِكُم. This means every act with which does not give reward to others. Khair means world in action, the goodness of which is proven by the book and sunnah. There is an indication in this that there is no reward for bad deeds such as innovation and transgression. Verse number 111. There is a third rebuke and act without any reason, which monotheism to set aside heaven for oneself. Aqidah is not monotheism and also reject the punishment of sins for oneself, and heaven is especially only up to hostility. If we are the children of the Prophet, so then we are heavenly because of this attribute. These are for distribution and allocation. The Jews only appropriated for themselves, and the Christian appropriated from themselves. وَقَالُوا لَن يَدْخُلَ الْجَنَّةَ إِلَّا مَنْ كَانَ هُودًا أَوْ نَصَارَىٰ تِلْكَ أَمَانِيُّهُمْ قُلْ هَاتُوا بُرْهَانَكُمْ إِن كُنتُمْ صَادِقِينَ. The Jews and the Christian each claim that none will enter paradise except those of their own faith. These are their desires. Reply, O Prophet, show me your proof. If what you say is true. Amaniyuhum. This is a plural of amani, desire of self or without Sharia argument. That is the claim that we are Sahibzada, Pirzada, a Sayyid. Therefore, Jannah is special for us. Burhan, yani Dalil argument, Sharia is a dependent argument by means of which the claim is proved by certain, and it is only argument from Allah, a very strong argument. Verse number 112 against their wishes. And there is a statement from Burhan that Jannah is obtained by monotheism and following the Sunnah. Bala man aslama wajhahu lillahi wa huwa muhsinun falahu ajruhu inda rabbih wala khawfun alayhim wala hum yahzanun. But no, whoever submit themselves to Allah and does good will have their reward with their Lord, and there will be no fear for them, nor will be grief. Wajha, the face, reaper, self or purpose. Aslam, and the meaning of inqiyad, or the meaning is sincere and sincerity, and the indication is not in belief of shirk. Wahuwa muhsin, benevolence means obedience to the sunnah. Verse number 113. This is the fourth denial of each other religion in the book. Just as the scholar take the sub-difference to this level, then they curse each other. Majidi in his example, Anpiya, Shapiya, Maturidiya is also written, who insult each other. وقالت اليهود ليست النصارى على شيء وقالت النصارى ليست اليهود على شيء وهم يتلون الكتاب كذلك قال الذين لا يعلمون مثل قولهم فالله يحكم بينهم يوم القيامة فيما كانوا فيه يختلفون. The Jews say the Christians have nothing to stand on, and the Christians say the Jews have nothing to stand on, although both recite the scripture. And those pagans who have no knowledge say the same about people of faith. Surely Allah will judge between them on the day of judgment regarding their dispute. Allah Shahin, it is the religion that gives us salvation. Al-Kitab, just book, means the Torah in the Gospel, and now its collection is called the Old Testament. Misla qawlihim, it means the claim and reject their religion without argument, and this means polytheism as unscriptural. Those who consider our people of the book as misguided. This is the faith rebuke. Masjid means prohibition of monotheism, and the monotheist must be prohibited. This is great 114, and just forbidden. This is great, and just as the forbidden the congregation. Zikr in the Sharia method, Ikhlas, Tawheed on the way of the Prophet ﷺ. Kharabi Masjid, to be free from monotheism, that is committing shirk in the mosque, is committing innovation يعني بدعة. ومن أظلم ممن منع مساجد الله أن يذكر فيها اسمه وسعى في خرابها. Who does more wrong than those who prevent Allah's name from being mentioned and has places of worship and strive to destroy them? أولئك ما كان لهم أن يدخلوها إلا خائفين. Such people have no right to enter these places except with fear. لهم في الدنيا خزي ولهم في الآخرة عذاب عظيم. For them is disgrace in this world, and they will suffer a tremendous punishment in the hereafter. Masajid, world plural masjid, because this command must include every mosque. Ulaika ma kana lahum, it means this, that the believers should be patient and fight. Then because of this their fear will be established on the disbelievers. Then these people will not be able to enter the mosque with peace, and its example can only be dominance of Islam. 115 number verse, that is someone forbids a monotheist from the mosque. He should explain the religion in other place. East and west ripple to all sides. وَلِلَّهِ الْمَشْرِقُ وَالْمَغْرِبُ فَأَيْنَمَا تُوَلُّوا فَثَمَّ وَجْهُ اللَّهِ إِنَّ اللَّهَ وَاسِعٌ عَلِيمٌ. To Allah belong the east and the west, so wherever you turn, you are facing towards Allah. Surely Allah is encompassing, all-knowing. Wajhillah. These and other mutashabihat verses by analogy. That the right religion in this belong to Ahl-Sunnah, Salaf Salihin. It is believed and its appearance in attributing the knowledge of reality to Allah, and explaining in such verse in this that the apparent undenied is known. This is innovation. This is a saying of Shaykhul Islam Ibn Taymiyyah. The reason is not from mutashabihat, rather this word is common. It has many meanings, so it is not intended to make a meaning. Here there are saying of the Salaf. Mujahid saying the Qibla of Allah is also pay attention to Allah, and the meaning of knowledge is also derived from Wasiun Alim. And this verse, according to many commentators, it is about prayer, who is Napal on the right out of the area upon trip. Verse number 116, the answer is an sex objection. The question is that you do not believe Malaika and Uzair alayhi salam, so you are not a prophet. The answer to this is that we believe in him, but we do not say that he is the son of Allah, because the Jews believe that Uzair alayhi salam is the son of Allah, Nauzubillah, and the Christian says that Jesus is the son of Allah, and the Arab polytheist says that the angels are the daughter of Allah. So the belief of some of them was this, that these are the real children of Allah Ta'ala, and some of them believed that he had given authority like a son, and Allah accept his word like a father believes his beloved child. Compulsively believe, it is implied on making a base. So there is a rejection in this verse on the day of the birth. First in these purposed and three ways, glory be to Allah, and third is kullu lahu qanitun. Qunut means humility. Wa qalu ittakhadallahu walada, and they say Allah has created a son. Then Allah answered, number one, subhanahu, although he is pure. Second answer, ballahu ma fi samawati wal ard, rather all that is in the heaven and the earth belong to him. Third answer, kullu lahu qanitun, all are obedient to him. Everything is in Allah's control. A son is needed to help his father, or rather everything belongs to Allah and everything is to subject to Allah Almighty. And verse number 117, there is a rejection of ittikhazul walad in three ways. Now the remaining three methods are in this verse. Number one is Badiu Samawati wal Ard. The second is Waiza Qawza Amran. From Amran Bidat. Bidat, yani Badiu Samawati wal Ard, but Bidat means anything new in the dictionary, and the Sharia means Sharia creating something new and a belief or practice for which there is no evidence in Sharia. Invention is called bid'ah, something new that did not exist before, creating something in the Sharia that is not commanded in the Quran and the Hadith, or rather adding something of your own. There is a strict prohibition and this in the religion of Islam about this thing. Badi is the name of Allah Ta'ala as an adjective without any patron that did not already exist, without a patron that did not exist in front of him, and he brought something new into creation. Actually, the creator is Allah. No patron was present. Without a patron, the sun made, the moon, the sky made, the animals, man made, all atoms are made in the same way. Whatever we make, we must take ideas from something that already exists. Petrol is stored in the ground, and the one who made it did not have the patron before him at all. Badiu Samawati wal Ard. He is the originator of the heaven and the earth. وَإِذَا قَوْزَهَا أَمْرًا فَإِنَّمَا يَقُولُ لَهُ كُنْ فَيَكُونُ. When he decrees a matter, he simply tells it be, and it is. What is the need of a son for such a being? By intending all things come into being, and work is done without any interruption. Qawza means intention, Amran invention of something, just intend and the things come into being. What does such a powerful person need of son? Verse number 118. In this verse the answer is to the seventh question. If you are a prophet, then may Allah tell us or tell by revelation, and the same way as He revealed to you in Parma through revelation that you are a prophet, or the miracle we are asking for should come. The first answer is accusatory. That is, the question is in the style of the first denier. The second answer is researchable. We have presented verses, not one but many miracles, but they benefit only those who believe. Stubborn people do not benefit from performing miracles. وَقَالَ الَّذِينَ لَا يَعْلَمُونَ لَوْلَا يُكَلِّمُونَ اللَّهُ أَوْ تَأْتِينَا آيَةٌ. Those who have no knowledge says, if only Allah would speak to us, or a sign would come to us. كَذَلِكَ قَالَ الَّذِينَ مِنْ قَبْلِهِمْ مِثْلَ قَوْلِهِمْ تَشَابَهَتْ قُلُوبُهُمْ. The same was said by those who came before. Their hearts are all alike. قَدْ بَيَّنَّا الْآيَاتِ لِقَوْمٍ يُوقِنُونَ. Indeed, we have made the signs clear for people of sure faith. Ayat number 119. This claim is about Sidq Rasul, and the first of the five things is the command. Inna arsalnaka bil haqqi bashiran wa nadhiran wa la tusalu an ashabil jahim. We have surely sent you with the truth, O Prophet, as a deliverer of good news and a warner, and you will not accountable for the resident of the hellfire. Bil haqq, with the truth or truthfulness. Wala tus'al, that is, whoever refuse after your statement and invitation, then their responsibility is not on you. Verse number 120. In this verse there is a mention of stubbornness and obstinacy of the Prophet ﷺ of the book, and there is a mention of saying themselves from their religion, and this is another matter, that your alliance with these people is not possible. وَلَن تَرْضَى عَنْكَ الْيَهُودُ وَلَا النَّصَارَى حَتَّى تَتَّبِعَ مِلَّتَهُمْ. Never will the Jews or Christians be pleased with you until you follow their faith. قُلْ إِنَّا هُدَى اللَّهِ هُوَ الْهُدَى. Say, Allah guidance is the only true guidance. وَلَئِنِ اتَّبَعْتَ أَهْوَاءَهُمْ بَعْدَ الَّذِي جَاءَكَ مِنَ الْعِلْمِ مَا لَكَ مِنَ اللَّهِ مِنْ وَلِيٍّ وَلَا نَصِيرٍ. And if you were to follow their desires after all the knowledge that has come to you, there would be none to protect or help you against Allah. Inna hudallahi huwal huda. The first huda refers to the religion of Allah Ta'ala, which is Islam, and the other is on the meaning of perfect and true religion. Ahwa'ahum, it refers to Judaism, and Christianity, which is against the religion of Islam. Malik and Et mean Ummah. The address is to the Prophet ﷺ. Verse number 121 is the third commandment in the verse which is the real naqli argument from past era from the disbeliever of the first book. Allazina atainahumul kitaba yatlunahu haqqa tilawatihi ulaika yu'minuna bihi. Those we have given the book follows it as it should be followed. It is they who truly believe in it. وَمَنْ يَكْفُرُ بِهِ فَأُولَئِكَ هُمُ الْخَاسِرُونَ. As for those who reject it, it is who are the losers. haqqa tilawatihi, worthy reading is to understand it and to follow it. Don't distort word and meanings. The second meaning is that submissive life with worthy submissiveness. Yuminuna bihi. This zamir are pronoun toward the Quran means knowledge, or it refers to the Prophet ﷺ. Wama yakpuru bihi, and this pronoun, this is also the possibility. Verse number 120. There is encouragement in this verse about the confirmation of the last prophet, and it is intended to draw attention to the Ibrahimic religion. Ya bani Israel askuru ni'mati allati an'amtu alaykum wa anni faddaltukum alal alamin. O children of Israel, remember my favors upon you and how I have honored you above the others. Verse number 123. And this verse appears final about those who refuse. And in this way it is also used in verse 48. In this verse the pronoun of face refers to the first criminal, and this one it refers to the second criminal. وَاتَّقُوا يَوْمًا لَا تَجْزِي نَفْسٌ عَن نَفْسٍ شَيْئًا وَلَا يُقْبَلُ مِنْهَا عَدْلٌ وَلَا تَنفَعُهَا شَفَاعَةٌ وَلَا هُمْ يُنصَرُونَ. And guard yourselves against the day when no soul will be up in a help to other, no ransom will be taken, no intercession accepted, and no help will be given. This chapter has come to an end. We ask from Allah Kareem, may Allah forgive our sins. We walk steadfastly on the straight path, give complete healing to all our patients, pay up the debts of those who are in debt from unseen treasure, and grant us paradise. Ameen. Jazakallah.